Yeah, Alex, game started probably as poorly as it could have for y'all. How was your defense able to regroup from that? Whether it was the players, you, and your assistants, or anything like that. What was the key to getting things heading in the right direction again on defense?
Yeah, and you mentioned it. I don't know that in all areas, in terms of momentum, you're not going to survive a lot of those games. And some of it's obviously created by us. There's no doubt about it. But I think in those moments, you got to give all the credit to the players. Every last bit of it, because they're the ones that ultimately got to find that resolve, and you can call different plays and you can hug them on the sideline. You can say a lot of things as a coach, and believe me, we said a lot of things, and certainly, the whole unit, coaches and players alike, kind of despite maybe, certainly the outcomes we had early. I think there was a trust element of things that I think we believe we're better than the product that we're playing. I think the kids did. Again, just dumbing it down to the first quarter and specifically the first half. So just an attentive group at halftime. The quick message is life's not a Disney movie. It's very, very hard. And here we go. And it's not going to take one play or one stop to get this thing done. And you're talking to an audience that was listening. Again, none of the words matter, but just the fact that, it's not throwing chairs in the locker room or pointing fingers. I just give the guys a lot of credit because there's so many plays that had to take place in our favor in the second half to find a way and give our offense, who did obviously a tremendous job in the end, to give them an opportunity to go win it. And so very, very proud of our players. They deserve all the credit.
Appreciate it, Alex.
Hey, Alex, you were able to hold Texas to just 27 yards rushing in the second half. I know, Perrion kind of started it out with a TFL on Bijan, and you guys played Isaiah, I think probably in the middle more than you've played him all year. Could you just talk about kind of those guys and Nick and Reggie? And I know you're substituting a lot in there, but just what that meant to, this game in the second half, just kind of getting Bijan Robinson in the background before we could get started?
Sure. No, they without question were the MVPs defensively as you go through it, and to name one guy in particular, but certainly Perrion stepped up, as you mentioned, and seeing IT, and then as much as anything, maybe in-game adjustment, that probably was the biggest one that maybe we made personnel wise. But I think, someone mentioned we had 3 or 4 freshmen on the field at certain times over the course of true freshmen over the course of the game. And in that environment, they'll be better because of it. But no, that front, as much as anything, we allowed them to have an impact, and not putting ourselves in bad spots where we could feel their impact, which is, again, it's a guy falling down or that one busted tackle turned into an explosive play. And so, no, I think without question, the impact that they had, again, really changed what otherwise was a disappointing day.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Darren Emig.
Alex, if you could drill down, what was your biggest in-game adjustment? Did it involve Isaiah? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, just playing Isaiah a little bit more inside. And he's obviously had success there in the past and still rotated. So, there's several guys. It wasn't as much, the lack with other individuals not getting it done. It was just, trying to put the playmakers we got in the best position for him to have an impact and make a play. And so, that was probably the biggest adjustment.
Okay, quick follow-up. Swings of this game. I know you've been through a few of these now, but can you put in perspective how wild it was today? It just seemed to be off the chart, even for OU Texas standards.
No, and you look at that first part of the game, and then we're dying for a swing and momentum, just something to kind of right the ship, it wasn't coming. And again, it's self-inflicted on our parts. Obviously, from a coaching standpoint, you're trying to find ways to put guys in the position to be successful. And certainly there was times today that we didn't. And that's something you evaluate, obviously, once you watch the video. But no, I mean, one of the things I may have mentioned already, but, we're talking, it's not going to take one play. One play is not going to get this thing done. It's going to be a culmination thereof. It's going to be, finding the way. It's going to be, when they do make a play, can we turn the tide? Can we flip the momentum within a drive? And we just were not able to do that early on. A lot of, I think there was 3 sudden change. We create the issue on the first play. And probably my biggest regret was playing Delarin today, with his hamstring. He wanted to go, thought maybe he could go, had the clearance to do so, but probably put him in a bad spot, which not his fault on the first play, but that was the only play he was able to. So I regret that. So we created that issue. There's 3 sudden change opportunities that you got to find a way to get a stop. We did not do that. And so you just add that up, it becomes a lot of momentum on that other side. And so you talk about swings, and that second half is you just keep chipping away, as much as anything. It's one drive, okay, hold them to 3. Maybe that 3 is going to get us beat in the end. That's the fan reaction in you. But in that moment, that's where they're at. Let's find a way. It's better than 7, and let's go find another way to get a stop. And obviously, the crowd was tremendous. To not give up on us. It really helped us in the second half.
Bill?
Alex, stopping their running game in the second half. And I know Casey did hit a couple of passes on you in the second half, but stopping their running game allowed you guys or helped you guys really get back into the game. Was it just players making better plays, or any adjustments, or just guys doing the job better?
Yeah, I think as much as anything, just we made enough plays to kind of allow ourselves to get in the Rolodex of calls and mix some things up and put the guys in some situations that maybe they could be successful. In the end, the chief thing was our guys made plays to allow that to take place. In that first half, we couldn't get a series of plays. I'd be hard pressed to find 2 good plays in a row to allow ourselves to have any semblance of momentum within a drive, to again, flip some calls and maybe it's a pressure, maybe it's a drop 8 situation, maybe it's a stunt, maybe it's going straight. You don't get a chance to get in that Rolodex because it's a scoring play before you know it. And so, no, I believe me, in all this stuff, take absolutely no credit. I take all the blame in the first half, and I take no credit for the second half. Those guys, that's a resilient group, man. I'm telling you, on that stage, pretty awesome.
Right. Thanks, man. Congrats.
Thanks.
John Hoover.
Alex, can you describe the lift that you guys got from getting Danny Stutzman back? He's such an emotional player because it's such a high tempo. It looked like he kind of brought things up around him as he came in the game.
No, he absolutely does. I mean, there's some guys that, as much as anything, whether it's motor, it's just when he's on the field, and we felt it going back to fall camp in our first time getting it, just very quickly, you just feel him when he's out there. And he's only going to get better as we go through this thing. And I thought overall, probably one of the better days for our linebacking crew. Again, we all had some bad plays today, but adding him into the mix certainly helps us as we move forward. A young player that I don't want to put any higher expectations than otherwise would be lumped on him. But you talk about a true freshman that's been out, I don't even know how many weeks. And then you step back on the, you practice this week for the first time and you go play against the University of Texas in that environment, and he showed well. So we're excited about it.
Another freshman comes in and sparks the offense, and Caleb Williams. Do you guys feel that defensively when the offense starts picking up and the guys are making plays on that side of the football?
Yeah, I think, in those moments you're just sitting there from a defensive standpoint, and give those guys on offense a chance, give them an opportunity. Don't the least predictive, I guess, assuming you don't continue to make the same mistakes, but just because a game starts a certain way doesn't mean it's going to finish that way. I mean, we've been on the other side of this at times. So, the whole time you're sitting there, you're saying, if we can keep momentum that offense and that quarterback got a chance to inch back into this game somehow, some way. And so you just let's go find another way to get a stop, and then dying for a takeaway. I was disappointed we didn't get anything defensively. That could have flipped the tide. As much as anything, we talk about takeaways equal victory. It kind of didn't prove that way, although we needed that last one on kickoff. But no, you want to give those guys a chance. And I thought our guys did in the second half.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Game.